Hey everybody, came out this morning and I heard a sucking sound and the pond was empty. And fortunately there was enough water in the bottom that the fish were all scurrying around in about a half-inch of water on the bottom. And so I am very, very curious as to see what in the world happened, why the pond drained down. The only thing I can think is that somehow where it was spraying, it's flowing out and it drained, the pump itself drained the pond. I can't imagine a leak developed in the bottom of the plastic pond. And I'm assuming at some point as the pump gets water back in it, it's going to start flowing again. I can see some water beginning to trickle down. So it's probably just airlocked. It probably has some air caught in the pump itself, and once I work that through, I probably have to shake the pump a little bit to get it flowing again. But I'm going to get it filled back up, and then we're going to see what's going on, if I can get it flowing again, and we're going to see if the water is actually, if the pump got disconnected. I suspect that it's the pump got knocked, the head of the hose got knocked. It goes up and it curls around, and if it uncurled and it's squirting out that way or something, it may have just emptied the pond by itself. I cannot imagine this thing sprung a leak and just drained out, leaking through the ground overnight. It has to have been the pump somehow managed to pump this thing dry. So let me get that pump running again. It is still humming, it's just not actually pumping, so it's probably vapor locked at the moment. There's certainly enough water in there that it should be flowing by now. So let me get on that, I'll get it flowing again, and I'll be right back and we'll see what we're looking at here. Alright everybody, I am happy to say I finally figured it out. It is about 11 o'clock in the morning now, and I'm running very late for work. But I noticed in the time that I was getting ready for work, we had already lost some more water. I was down about a half an inch from being topped off, which is where I left it when I filled it up this morning. And so I'm definitely losing water out of here somewhere, and it was just driving me crazy. I thought about going to work and figuring it out later because I knew there'd be enough in there to last till I got home. But this is the kind of thing that was just going to eat at me until I figured it out. And so I started tinkering. I know it can't be I assume it can't be the plastic bin. What would have caused a puncture in that plastic bin, and how would it have started draining so quickly, etc. So that's not where I started looking. I started looking around the liner where my waterfall is, and long story short, I finally found a place right under where I put this piece of wood. There was a rock that was deflecting the water, and it was trickling up just enough to get over the hump, and it was flowing underneath the other rocks, and it was just a steady stream of it just flowing under the other rocks and then flowing down here into what is the soft backfill. And there's a lot of potting mix and stuff that I backfilled behind it, and so it was just slowly draining, just a trickle of water, not a lot, probably, you know, as much as you can see, like on that little end right there, like that little bit was just draining out over that edge and just quietly running away underneath of those rocks. But I found it, I lifted up the liner, I tucked the bigger rock under it, I put the liner over that, and then I also cleared the path to allow the water to flow more freely under there. And you can see it's just flowing right on out in a nice straight line. If you look at how cleanly it's actually coming out right here, before it was splashing up and over right there. So that was it. That was all that changed, and it was probably due to sticks and debris, and you know, you can see the flowers, they drop and they fall into the water and float around, which I like. It looks pretty and everything. I especially like it when they fall down here and then they wind up working their way down through my little hollow log here. That always looks pretty too. But little sticks, twigs, dirt, grime, grit, etc. can definitely have an impact on where it's pushing the water and forcing the water to flow. So that's it. I figured it out. We got it topped off. I'm off to work, and hopefully when I get back we'll have just as much water in there now as we did before. And one last note on cold water fish: when I topped that pond off, I topped it off with water out of the hose, so that came straight out of the ground. And in fact, the water was so cold that if you look at the hose up here, it has sweat or condensation all over it, because this is very, very cold water now. They woke up in like an inch of probably 80-degree water, and they are now in what feels like spring water, so that's probably about 60 degrees. So I just changed their water probably about 20 degrees in a matter of minutes, and none of them are going to bat an eyelash, because that is what cold water fish can do. So all right, everybody, there is my look at the pond. Give you a quick look around the yard if you're still here with us. Sounds like somebody up there is already mowing for the day. Fortunately, I got that done over the weekend, so I don't need to worry about it. Not a whole lot in flower at the moment, so we will be doing another yard tour here when we get a few more plants that are starting to flower. All our foxgloves are sort of passing their prime now, so look forward to a yard tour on my outdoors channel. If you're not familiar with that, check down below. There'll be a link. There'll be videos for my yard tours over there. So thanks for watching this one. Make sure you're subscribed. Don't forget to check out my other channel, and I will see you real soon on the next one.